Hello and welcome. My name is Shenjing He. I'm one of the managing editors of the journal, Area Development and Policy. This journal aims to be a world-class journal publishing original academic research examining the economic, political, cultural, and geographical contexts which play fundamental roles in shaping and developing regions, cities, rural areas, and the relationships between them. The journal by the Regional Studies Association concentrates on issues relating to the greater BRICS and welcomes submissions emerging from these countries, as well from the developed world. It is dedicated to expanding common ground while accepting differences, improving mutual communication, and increasing cooperation and shared learning. I'm happy to be here today and to be able to announce the award for the Best Area Development and Policy paper, published in 2024, for the paper entitled What Counts as Infrastructural Labor? Community Action as Waste Work in South Africa, authored by Kathleen Stokes of Dublin City University and Mary Lawhon of University of Edinburgh in the UK. So many congratulations to you both, and thank you for joining me today. Would you like to say a few words, Catherine?
Thank you so much, Shenjin. We're delighted and really appreciate the opportunity to celebrate this paper with Area Development and Policy. Just to say a little bit about the paper quickly, what we're trying to do in this paper is to explore a less studied area of waste work. We're looking at the voluntary and unpaid efforts, things like community cleanups and waste education. Now, traditionally, research concerning waste has tended to focus on those who earn money collecting and processing waste, oftentimes in precarious or informal roles. But in contrast, what we're doing in this paper is looking at how the state encourages citizens to engage with and participate in waste systems, but oftentimes without recognizing their contributions as labor. So these unpaid activities still require effort, coordination, and often a shift in local expectations. So what we're arguing is that this kind of participation is in fact infrastructural. It keeps the waste systems running. And we're also suggesting that it should be seen or considered as a form of labor. And this opens up broader political questions around value, responsibility, and recognition. So overall, we hope that our paper invites people to question who is doing the work of managing waste and who is getting the credit, compensation, and recognition for it. And so I'll pass over to Mary, my co-author and collaborator, who's been an immense mentor, not just on this paper, but more generally, and she'll say a little bit more about the context from which this paper has come out.
Yeah, thank you, Kathleen, and again, thank you, Shenjin, for the introduction and the award that we've very much delighted to have had a chance to publish in this journal. So this paper came from a wider project called Turning Livelihoods to Rubbish, and part of this wider thing that we were asking, and I want to point here to this wider context that I think many of us are really struggling with in this exact moment, is this question of the relationship between technology, between labor, and between what we value and how we value it. And so I think for me, part of why this paper became an interesting, exciting, and a set of challenges for us to think through was understanding it as part of this wider process of change that's going on globally, that matters particularly in the global south. It matters for infrastructure and for cities, but it's really changing the way we think about what matters and how we value it, and what the role of technology is in those wider processes. So even though in this paper we focus a little bit less on the actual objects, understanding that this wider context in which technology is changing what we do and how we value it, for me, is part of what made this an exciting paper and process.
And I think if we could just say thank you to all of the TLR team that we worked with throughout this project and which data contributed to this paper. And more generally, if anyone is interested, we have a very extensive list of acknowledgements in this paper, because it wasn't just the research team that we were working with on TLR, including Eric Swingedow, Henrik Ernstson, Nate Millington, and Anisu Makina. But we also had an extensive kind of network of collaborators and colleagues in South Africa who were immensely supportive and great people to be dialoguing with over the course of this research. So we won't list the long list of everyone there, but you can find that in our acknowledgements. So that's where we would really want to lend our thank you to, not just for today, but for the paper and its existence more generally.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kathleen and Mary. Congratulations once again on your excellent paper. And thank you for joining me today. Goodbye. Thank you.